Hi, welcome to Chapter 9. It is part 2 of Chimney Draft. Talk to you soon.
Chimney height versus offset geometry. When offsets are used, effective height decreases because the chimney no longer has a continuous vertical rise. A 30-foot chimney with two offsets may perform more like a 20-foot chimney in terms of draft strength. The more the chimney deviates from vertical, the less effective height it has to generate upward pull. Offsets also create a practical inspection and cleaning challenge. Tools must navigate the bends, making it harder to properly remove creosote or debris. If the system is not cleaned effectively, deposits accumulate faster at offset locations, increasing fire risk. For this reason, NFPA standards recommend limiting offsets as much as possible and keeping each offset angle within acceptable limits, typically no more than 30 degrees from vertical when clay flue tiles are used. In addition, poorly constructed offsets can create ledges or misaligned flue tiles, causing smoke to strike masonry surfaces instead of flowing smoothly upward. These misaligned tiles create turbulence and heat stress points, and they are a common source of cracks and deterioration in older chimneys. Even if the tiles appear aligned from above, hidden misalignments inside offsets can disrupt flow enough to cause long-term problems. When diagnosing chimney performance issues, noticing multiple bends or offsets immediately raises suspicion. Smoking fireplaces, poor draft, lingering cold air plugs, and rapid creosote buildup all become more likely when the flue contains too many directional changes. The most reliable solution is always a straighter, more vertical chimney path. When offsets cannot be avoided, they must be limited, properly aligned, and paired with insulated stainless steel liners to reduce cooling and friction loss. The construction of the smoke chamber has a profound effect on chimney draft, and flaws in this area are among the most common causes of poor fireplace performance. The smoke chamber is the transitional space between the firebox and the flue. Its job is to take the broad plume of smoke from the fireplace and gently compress it into the smaller cross-sectional area of the chimney liner. To do this efficiently, the smoke chamber must be shaped, aligned, and insulated properly. When it isn't, draft becomes weak, turbulent, or inconsistent. One major issue is an unparged smoke chamber. In older construction practices, masons often left the smoke chamber with exposed brick and rough, stair-step surfaces created by corbelling inwood. These uneven surfaces disrupt airflow by creating turbulence. Instead of flowing smoothly upward, the smoke hits the ledges, swirls, and slows down. The NFPA and IRC require smoke chambers to be parged smooth with refractory mortar, which forms a streamlined, funnel-like surface. When parging is missing, fireplaces often smoke into the room, especially when first lit or when the fire is burning weakly, because the smoke chamber traps smoke instead of channeling it upward. The stair-step construction also creates pockets where smoke can stagnate and cool. As the gases cool, they lose buoyancy, which weakens draft even more. In wood-burning systems, these cooler surfaces also allow creosote to condense, building up dangerous deposits on the chamber walls. A properly parged smoke chamber eliminates these pockets and improves both safety and performance. Another problem occurs when the smoke chamber walls are too thin, especially on chimneys built against exterior walls. The smoke chamber is the hottest part of the system, and if the walls are thin, they lose heat rapidly to the outside air. This cooling effect lowers the temperature of the smoke, making it heavier and less likely to rise into the flue. A smoke chamber that loses heat too quickly is one of the biggest contributors to fireplaces that chronically smoke back into the home. Proper construction requires 8 inches of solid masonry, which helps retain heat and maintain the upward flow of combustion gases. Smoke chamber height also matters. If the smoke chamber is too tall, the smoke has a long distance to travel before it reaches the flue. The longer this transition space is, the more the smoke cools. A tall smoke chamber also increases the volume of air that must be heated before draft becomes stable. This delay often causes smoke spillage during fireplace startup. On the other hand, if the chamber is angled too sharply or too short, the smoke cannot compress properly into the flue opening. This creates a bottleneck effect that slows velocity and causes turbulent backflow. The IRC limits the smoke chamber walls to a slope of no more than 30 degrees from vertical to prevent this exact problem. The connection between the top of the smoke chamber and the bottom of the flue liner is equally important. If the smoke chamber is not built to perfectly match the position of the flue liner, The liner may be left unsupported on one or more sides. Unsupported tiles can shift, crack, or separate over time. This creates gaps that allow smoke to escape